Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the WBBL review. Really happy that you're with me. If you don't know me, I'm Mark, and each week we invite a different personality from the league to come and chat to us. We get to know them better, get to know their thoughts on the league. We will also have a roundup of the latest news at the end, latest results, next week's fixtures, keep you up to date with everything going on in the league. Today we are joined by Sevenoaks star Araion Bradshaw, and seriously not to be missed, incredible story, incredible journey at such a young age. So make sure you stay tuned. We've got all the latest features, fan questions, quickfire questions. As I said earlier, the latest news roundup at the end. Before we get Araion here to chat to us, I want you to make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. I might even just wait until you do so. Thank you so much for your support. It does mean so much. Make sure you like the video as well and share it to anyone who you know will listen. Now it's time to welcome Araion Bradshaw to the show. Welcome to episode 8 of the WBBL review. It's great to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How have you been? How have you found the first month or so in England?
I've been good. Now it's definitely an adjustment. Just everything's a little different, but enjoying my experience. Kind of enjoying seeing all the new things, experiencing a different culture. So it's been good so far.
So let's start from the very beginning. Where were you born?
I was born in Boston, Massachusetts.
And when did you start playing basketball? When did basketball become a huge part of your life?
I've been playing since as long as I can remember. Yeah, I can't even give you an age, but definitely when I was little, definitely started playing really young, and then it kind of just took over on its own. I didn't really play too many other sports. Really didn't play another sport until I got to high school. So it's always primarily been basketball. And yeah, it's kind of taken on a life of its own as I continue to get older.
So who was it? Your family who were interested in basketball? How did you get into it?
So my aunt actually played divisional basketball at James Madison University. So she was a big part of that, just kind of her own legacy. And then my dad played a lot locally, so probably them two combined. And then my older sister as well played. So kind of all those mixed together kind of help me get into the sport.
And when did you join your first team? So you've been playing for as long as you can remember, but when did you first kind of get involved in teams?
I would say it was probably uh, I would say I was probably like 7, maybe earlier, but I would definitely say 7, somewhere around that age.
And when did it start becoming something that you knew that you were pretty good at?
Um, Honestly, I don't think I've ever really gotten to the point where I think I'm that good. There's always something you can improve on. But I think definitely freshman, sophomore, junior year of high school, just being able to put more time into it and kind of seeing how much growth I was having. I knew that there was an opportunity for me to kind of go to school for free and play at a high level. So definitely around that, probably early high school, late middle school years where I really put my time and effort into it.
Let's talk about your time. Your time at college. Started off at South Carolina.
Yeah.
How did that all come about? What was the recruitment process like? How did you find that college?
I loved it, honestly. Loved the school, loved the people, the city. I loved everything about Carolina. I don't even know. It was kind of late into my recruitment that I got interest with them, but I went on a visit. It was probably one of the better visits that I had. And immediately when I got there, I just felt like family. And it was really good just all around. So I think that was probably the biggest thing is when I got on campus, I felt like it was the place kind of for me to be, and I fit in really well with that team.
And you were there for a year. What happened next?
And then after my freshman year, I transferred to Dayton, University of Dayton. I was recruited by that school in high school, and they were actually in my top three. So when it was time for me to transfer, it was kind of a natural progression into that team. And I still knew a lot of the coaches that were on the team. Even some of the players that I went on my visit with were on the team at that time. So it was just a smooth transition in terms of just what they offered. And then kind of what I had already knew about them from being recruited previously.
So tell us a little bit about your time at Dayton then. How was it for you?
Yeah, Dayton probably top three best decisions of my life. It just allowed me to grow as a person. Obviously, the academics were great. I was able to get 3 degrees from that school, which is awesome. But then I had lifelong friends. I joined a sorority, won a lot of championships, just met a lot of great people. And I was really fortunate to be able to go to a school like that that was so invested into student athletes. And then in my probably my last 2 years there, they were really making a concerted effort to focus on just equality, social justice, all that stuff, which I was really proud of being a part of an institution that was focusing on that and kind of allowing me to kind of step into the forefront of that aspect. So yeah, Dayton was I don't even know if I have one word to describe it, but it was definitely something that changed my life forever, and definitely grateful to have made that transition.
You mentioned the kind of social justice element to Dayton, and I've had to like read up on different things that you've been doing over the years. It's a massive part of who you are.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think just everything that was going on in America at the time in 2020, it allowed for a bigger platform, and thankfully I was able to kind of use my platform, and Dayton allowed me to use theirs as well, and kind of just advocate for things that maybe not had been talked about before, just not as talked about as much. So it was definitely that 2 years that I was able to be at the university and kind of spend some time doing social justice initiatives and kind of putting my imprint on that area just in sports and just in the community in general. It definitely changed my life, and I'm sure it left a lasting impact just on the university as a whole. I know that they're still doing a ton of stuff. And I'm excited to see what they continue to do in the next coming years with that.
So summer 2020, you said that. Talk to us a little bit about the athletes driving change initiative that you came up with.
Yeah, so summer 2020, obviously there was a lot of things going on in America at the time, and I think for me, just kind of watching the state that the country was in and seeing all those videos on TV, and especially it being during COVID where we were so isolated, it felt like there was a need to really come together as a community for something that maybe um, wasn't wasn't consistently getting the attention that it deserved. So it was just something I felt really passionate about after seeing kind of different things going on. And then I asked some people at Dayton, other college coaches that weren't at Dayton, kind of for their their expertise. Then I kind of reached out to other girls that I know from different teams in the league, and got their insight on like what they were thinking, kind of how they were feeling, what their teammates were thinking, and then it kind of just got the ball rolling in terms of what we wanted to see done, what kind of change we were really looking for, and then that first year we kind of hit the ground running and really focused on the women's teams, and we did a whole we called it the month of change in February, but we dedicated some games throughout the entire month, and each team was able to kind of promote some social justice, something on their campus that was important to them, raise money, PPE equipment, whatever the case. And then that went really well. So the second year, we was able to get the men's teams in the league as well, and we've raised over $5,000 worth of stuff last year. Impacted a ton of communities, sold a bunch of T-shirts. So yeah, it was definitely exciting to see it grow each year, and I'm hoping that it continues to impact not just those communities in the A10, but even expand to different conferences as well.
So let's talk about you're a bit of a designer as well. I notice you've got. I mean, you designed the T-shirt for the Black History Month for Dayton,
Mhm.
as well as your slides.
Yeah,
Talk to
yeah,
us a little bit about that side of things.
yeah. So for the Black History Month T-shirts, they're kind of focused on that initiative with athletes driving change and kind of giving back to our community. So I created a design that the first year, it was just names of people who have experienced fatalities from social injustice or police brutality, things like that. But the second year, we kind of wanted to revamp it. We changed the colors a little bit. We added more names, and that was more to highlight kind of the powerfulness of Black culture, the powerfulness of minorities, and the kind of the impact they've had on America, whether that's athletes, artists, authors, scientists, whatever. We want to make sure we highlighted at least a couple people from every single one of those fields. And I know for me, it allowed me to kind of do some more research and continue to dive into my own community, but then it also allowed people who didn't know much about it, my coaches, my teammates, to kind of see these names on the t-shirts and learn about a culture that maybe doesn't get as much shine as it should. Just not even African American culture, but minority cultures in general. So yeah, the design kind of took on a life of its own. It was something that I was really passionate about, and then I had some help from some teammates, kind of getting ideas and stuff. And then for the slides, obviously just kind of creating my own brand. I have this saying called deposits, which basically is just every day you go in and you put in work, whatever that may be, whether that's you go to your job and you do all your assignments, or you go to the gym, or whether you're a basketball player and you go work out 2 times a day, whatever your work is, you put it in every day so that when it's time for you to perform at a high level, you can take something out the bank and you don't have insufficient funds. And the only way that happens is if daily you put in those deposits. So that was kind of the thought process on that. And I was able to design some slides that kind of embodied who I was in that area, and then also kind of spoke to my hometown. So yeah, it's been a cool experience just kind of be able to be creative in different ways.
So you had such a special time at Dayton and kind of in America. Was the plan to always keep playing basketball?
Yeah, definitely. The plan was always to keep playing. I wasn't ready to give it up. I love it very much. So that was always the plan, and I'm excited that I'm able to do it still.
How did the move to Seven Oaks come around then? So to talk us through a bit of the process.
Um, the summer process was definitely interesting because I'd never been home for that much. Just kind of being in college, we're always at school or training, so it was different to kind of be able to be home and focus on my own personal kind of development things that I really want to get better at, whether that was like, my core stability or my ankle stability or my knee strength, whatever. So it was cool to be able to spend that time kind of devoted to me becoming a better athlete. And then being able to kind of work out and do things that like just try new things, be creative, kind of expand my arsenal. And it was really fun this summer. So but yeah, I just kept working out, waiting for opportunities, and just waited for the right one. And I thought just being here on this team was the right opportunity for me, just the team, the culture, the place. So yeah, I was definitely grateful to have this opportunity.
So we're a couple of games into the season. What have you found the WBBL like so far?
Yeah, it's a competitive league. There's definitely good players on every team. Obviously every team plays a little differently, but it's definitely been fun to play different players. So used to being in my conference and playing the same kind of players and knowing what to expect from teams. So it's exciting to be able to kind of scout again and learn, new players and new habits. But yeah, the league it's been fun to play in. Definitely competitive and definitely getting pushed and challenged consistently.
Am I right in thinking that you played with London's Kiki Herbert Harrigan during your time
Yeah,
in South Carolina? Is that right?
yeah. We came in the same class our freshman year.
So is there anyone else around the league that you know already, or is it kind of a lot of just brand new for you?
No, everything's pretty much brand new. I don't know too many faces around the league quite yet.
Um, so you're in the middle of like a 2 week break, I guess, at the minute, because not playing at the weekend, and then
Yeah.
looking forward to the trip up to Scotland. What are your thoughts going into the next couple of weeks?
Just really excited to be able to get in and practice. Our full team is kind of getting together. We haven't had our full team yet. So just getting more people together, being able to practice, kind of work on the things, being able to get up and down, all that good stuff. So I guess that's just our focus in general is really being able to gel as a team, work on our defense, our talk, all the things that like carry you throughout the season. So yeah, I'm excited to be able to practice, which is kind of weird. No one really likes to practice that much, but I'm excited
Yeah.
to be able to kind of get in the gym with my teammates and work on some of those things that we haven't quite been able to work on because we haven't had our whole team here yet.
and obviously head coach Len Bush. What's it like working with him compared to other coaches that you've had in your career?
Yeah, Len's a funny guy. He has a different sense of humor for sure, but I think he's just really good at like reading his team. I think he knows what we need to hear and what needs to be said. I think he doesn't overcomplicate things. Just kind of tells us to play basketball, which I think is beautiful to have someone that just kind of trusts you to use your skill set. And then we're all obviously professionals, so we're gonna figure it out. But I think he does a great job of just giving us tools and then let us go build whatever we need to build. He'll give us the tools, but he allows us to kind of get our hands dirty, figure it out, and kind of build that chemistry organically, which I really like.
So I put a post on social media earlier today just to get people's kind of fans questions. So I've got a few questions, something that we haven't talked about yet. So Ian Marshall wants to know all about the Bradshaw Family Foundation.
Yeah, so
Yet another thing that you.
yeah. So this past summer I actually started a nonprofit with my family, and it's really focused on kind of giving back to our community in Boston, specifically um, those not even just athletes, but just young people who need resources, whether that's to expand on athletics, to expand on academics. But we want to make sure that we're giving back, programs, mentorship, sponsorships, any of those things that can kind of change the experience of a young person growing up. Because I know for me, there was definitely, some opportunities there, but there wasn't a lot of them that told me that I could be a basketball player and be an engineer. Like you don't really see those things too often. So our biggest thing is making sure they're providing these platforms, these opportunities, experience for people and the young people in Boston to be able to, go have a basketball clinic that we had this past summer, but then also we have another event coming up where we're going to do these education sessions where they can go learn about financial literacy. They could go do some mock interviews, build a resume, learn how to market themselves because that's a new thing now where people are getting paid for their brand. So just kind of teaching them these things that they can use on an everyday basis. That way, when it's time for them to become real adults, and not focused on sports or school, whatever the case, we have to survive in this thing called life. That they have these large kind of toolkit where they can kind of use all those things and just be successful people. Like we want them to be pros and something other than sports. Like absolutely strive to be a pro in sport, but you can be a pro in life, and that takes a ton of different tools. So that's kind of what we're focused on, just giving our young people in the community those tools that they need to become pros in just life.
So are you still heavily involved in that, even though obviously you're across in England now? Are you still managing to be involved?
Yeah, definitely managing to be involved. The time difference is tricky to do some of those things, but yeah, definitely still staying strong in it. It was an idea I kind of brought to my family, and they jumped on it. So got to make sure that I stay doing the things I'm supposed to. But yeah, it's still something that I can do from here, kind of putting things together. And then my family, they have that presence at home to be able to go to different events. So it's a collective effort, and it works out really well.
What challenges have you had so far with setting it up and kind of running it? Has any been made any major challenges?
Probably the biggest thing is just the time difference. Right now it's 9 something here, but almost 10 o'clock, but at home it's still 5. So it's still like, communicating with people and that thing with the time zones. But honestly, everything else has been kind of smooth, which is crazy to say. But I think it's again just because my family is there and they can kind of be the liaison between me and someone that I may need to communicate with back home or whatever the case. So yeah, probably time difference, but honestly, it hasn't been too rough, which is a blessing.
Another question we had was, have you been to England before, and what do you want to see when you're across here?
I have not. This is my first time here. And honestly, I don't even know what to see. Like I've done some light exploring, but I'm definitely looking to do like the very tourist things, just to say that I've done them. So I don't really know what I'm going to see, but I know that there's definitely some tourist things that I haven't done yet. So once I figure out what those are, I'm definitely gonna do them eventually before I leave.
If you're watching this, make a list underneath all the touristy things.
Yes, definitely help me out.
Uh, I also like to do some quick fire questions. It's nice and easy, don't worry.
Okay.
Just to, again, get to know you better. So we'll just start straight away. We'll go with McDonald's or KFC.
McDonald's.
I think I get that answer the most. It's always McDonald's.
Yeah.
Favorite Netflix or TV series at the moment?
Ooh. At the moment, I'm starting The Wire, which is a really old series, but I've
Okay.
never watched it. So it's been pretty good so far. So I guess that's my favorite right now because I'm watching it. But I really do love the new Netflix show. It's not really new, but the Netflix show Love is Blind. It's coming back out
Yeah, I've
in a
seen
couple
it.
weeks. So I'm excited to watch that.
Tea or coffee?
Neither.
Neither. I'm an either. I don't do the tea
Neither.
or coffee.
Yeah.
What's your favorite jersey number and why?
My favorite jersey number, it's a tie between 1 and 12. One, I always wore it when I was younger, and for me, it was just that mindset that I was the best player on the court. So I just loved the number one. But then when I was in middle school, I was given the number 12 by one of I was in seventh grade, and one of my seniors, she was in 12th grade. She had tore her ACL, so she couldn't play. So she gave me her number and let me wear it that year in her honor. And just like ever since then, I was like, for me, it was just like such a team first experience, just kind of being a young person who was given an opportunity to kind of represent a vet that trusted them. So it was kind of, I don't know, I just kind of fell in love with the number after that. So I would say naturally one, but I've grown to love 12 as well.
Favorite Disney film?
Not a big Disney watcher.
It was going
Geez.
so well.
Cause I don't know if it's called Coco. I might
Yeah,
have made that
Coco.
up. I think it is, but I watched that with my sisters, and it's actually pretty good. My little sisters
That
have forced me to
the Day
watch
of the
that like
Dead
three
one,
times.
that one, isn't it? The
Yeah,
guitars
so
and
that's a
stuff.
good one.
Yeah. What annoys you the most?
Uh, Yikes. What annoys me the most? I don't even know. Wow.
See, you just nothing annoys you. That's fine. That's all
No,
right.
I could give you something that annoys me when I do it. I hate when I don't make my bed in the morning. Like I have to make my bed every morning. If I don't, it just like
Okay.
if I come back and see it, I get really annoyed at myself. So I guess that's something.
We'll go with that one. What is your game day routine?
Um, a game day routine. I get up in the morning, take a shower, um, go eat something, and then I'll just kind of listen to music, get a stretch in, kind of listen to some old school music and kind of just relax my mind. And then when I get to the gym, kind of more stretching and then kind of warming up. But yeah, just getting up early, get in the shower and listen to some music, get something good to eat in my stomach, and kind of just get ready for the game.
Do you prefer to assist or score the basket?
Hmm. Uh, I prefer to do whatever will help my team win.
Good answer. What's your favorite moment on court?
In my entire career,
Yeah.
uh, easily winning a national championship. Yeah, I mean, the experience is just, it was so crazy. And my family got to be there. My little sister was probably 2 at the time, so she probably doesn't remember it. But yeah, the experience was incredible. It'd definitely be something I'll never forget.
Was that with South Carolina?
Yes.
Yeah. Favorite snack?
Ooh. So my favorite healthy snack would probably be watermelon, but I really love tortilla chips just by themselves.
Fair enough. Would you have pineapple on a pizza?
Absolutely not.
No.
No, hard pass.
What's top of your bucket list? One thing you want to do?
I really want to go to Dubai.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice. Who's your favorite basketballer of all time?
that's a tough one. Um,
Yeah, I said they were nice and easy, didn't I? I lied.
That's okay. Um, Oh, wow. Uh, it's so tough. There's so many different ways I can answer this. I guess I would say my favorite women's basketball player is probably Sue Bird, just on the court. Um, just kind of just the player she is, the way she leads her team, her demeanor, all those things. Um, I was also a big fan of Rajon Rondo when I was a kid. I just loved him. He was just a pest, and obviously he played for Boston, so it was like a natural affinity there. Yeah, I guess that's yeah. But everybody loves the LeBron Jameses, the Chris Pauls, those kind of things. So the Asia Wilsons. So, but yeah, I would go with those two, I guess, first.
What is your main strength as a basketball player?
Ooh. Um, my main strength, I think, would be that um wow. I think I would say that I'm I'm adaptable. Like if you need me to score, I can score. If you need me to pass, I can pass. If you need me to defend, I can defend. If you need me to lead, I can lead. I can do them all at the same time. And I know every team is kind of different in what they need from you, but at my core, I can do all those things and obviously, raise the levels of them as well. So, I guess I would just say I'm just all around. Like I can do anything that's needed of me, and just do it at the best of my ability, and it'll always be 120%.
I've got one question left, but before I do, I just want to say a huge thank you. I know it's very late, and I appreciate the
No,
time, and
absolutely.
it's been fascinating to get to know your story and how passionate you are about helping people and all of the things that you are involved with. You must be very busy.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's been fun. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm hoping to be at the Caledonia game, the Seven Oaks Caledonia game in a
Nice.
couple of weeks, so hopefully catch up with you then. But last
Yeah.
question, I love basketball because...
I love basketball because I feel like it's a journey of life. Like you go through so many ups and downs, you learn so many things about yourself, um, about how to interact with people, how to carry yourself, about how to brand yourself, what your brand is. Like it's like a journey of life in a sport. And I feel like there's so many things in this sport that life may not teach you as quickly as basketball does, or any sport really. So I love basketball because it's a journey and you learn so much, and yeah, it prepares you for things in life that you may not even know are coming. So yeah, basketball is the greatest sport ever in my opinion.
I like that. Basketball is a journey. I like it.
Yeah,
Right, well, what a great
absolutely.
way to finish. Thank you so much, and we'll hopefully speak to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Well, what an amazing interview. What an incredible story. Thank you so much for joining me. It's really late when we're recording this, so I appreciate the time and just that story, what you're passionate in. Amazing. Thank you so much. So let's have a look at the latest news in the WBBL. Rundown of the latest results from last weekend. 5 games in the weekend. Durham still not playing yet. Hopefully this weekend that changes. We'll have to wait and see. Latest results then. Seven Oaks beat Newcastle Eagles 82-67. Janice Monacana 29 points. Good job. You didn't retire, Janice. Cardiff continued their hot streak to the start of the season, 64-67 against Essex Rebels. Lauren Seiki winning Eva's Player of the Week award for her 16 points, 8 assists and 4 steals in their close win against Essex. Eat, sleep, repeat the streak. London beat Leicester Riders 58-74 with an impressive performance from Kennedy Leonard, moving up to the 4th on the list of all-time assists. Another 12 for her, going along with 11 points and the 5 steals. Sheffield Hatters scored 110 past Oakland's, who also held them to 29 points. Thankfully for Oakland's, reinforcements have arrived this week, so watch out for that at the weekend as they play Nottingham. Nottingham themselves bounced back from their defeat by Newcastle last week, and beat Manchester 71-67 in a very close game, but they were missing Kayla Shaw in this one. Mari Stewart, 13 points and 12 rebounds. So that's up to date now with the latest news. Let's look ahead till next week. So we've got Durham hopefully playing their first match of the season in the Cup, because it's a Cup weekend against Manchester. Essex hosting Newcastle. Caledonia host Cardiff, long trip for Cardiff. Nottingham host Oaklands, and as I said earlier, Oakland could have some reinforcements by that matchup. There's also one match that's not a cup match, and that is Sheffield against Durham on the Sunday, which is a rearranged fixture from earlier on in the season. Again, hopefully. I just want to say a huge thank you before I go to everyone who's taken the time to listen to this. Araion was amazing to talk to and brilliant guest, but we've got loads more on the way. Again, each week we'll have an episode. We've got Eva's Play of the Week on the Monday. Hopefully interview with the winner as well. Loads to catch up on. I'm hoping to be at the Durham-Manchester game this weekend, so there'll be some content coming out from that. So if you don't want to miss a thing, subscribe, like, share this video far and wide, and I will hopefully see you soon.